Jayson Tatum.
Paul Pierce.
Jayson Tatum. Paul Pierce.
Jayson Tatum.
Paul Pierce.
Pierce with three. Pierce with two. Pierce fall away at the horn. It's downtown.
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two forwards from the same celebrated franchise, but from different eras.
This finals MVP was one of the league's toughest, most clutch players.
Their games defined by skill and dedication.
His game has him in the MVP conversation while leading his team as a top contender.
In their corner is an entire city whose franchise hangs more banners than any other NBA team.
Green may be the color of money, but for these two, green reflects their legacy.
We are excited to present to you Paul Pierce and Jayson Tatum. I'm Uriah.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Ben.
And we're here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It is great to have you tuning into our latest in-depth comparison. Just a friendly reminder to please follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on social media. Most importantly, please leave us a review. It truly makes a difference, and we really appreciate it. Now, if you're an NBA fan, you are going to enjoy this comparison. If you're a Boston fan, you're about to be in heaven. These two players devoted many years of their career to Beantown, and we are about to devote an entire hour and change to their impact on the game of basketball. I'm going to go to Lucas first. Why are we here right now discussing Jayson Tatum and Paul Pierce?
For me, it's easy because they've been the last two real torchbearers for the Boston Celtics since Larry Bird.
Yeah, I like that. Torchbearers. What about you, Ben?
A lot of similarities. High draft picks out of college, good college basketball players, both small forwards. I think they're both 6'8", 6'9", and kind of surprised people. They came in the league right away as rookies and kind of dominated.
What about you, Maurice?
I would say two players who can handle the weight of being a franchise player for one of the legacy franchises, and not just basketball, for sports.
I think what Lucas said resonates with me. You just think Boston, you automatically lean towards Larry Bird and his impact on the league in that entire city. But then after him, Paul Pierce was just the man when he played in his era. And now Tatum is kind of taking that torch during this particular era. And they've both left a mark on that city. And you know, it's just remains to be seen if Tatum can take his team to the finals again and actually pull out a win this time. So let's get started.
First quarter, background.
All right, it's time to talk about Jay, a.k.a. Taco Jay. But before he got those nicknames, he was born Jayson Christopher Tatum, March 3rd, 1998, in St. Louis, Missouri. Growing up, Jayson Tatum's dad, Justin, played overseas professionally. In an NBC Sports Boston article, Tatum was around 10 years old when his dad would give him practice 3 to 4 days a week with high school players. He remembers going home in tears some days because he didn't understand why his dad kept putting him in those situations. Apparently, his dad was very tough on him growing up, telling Tatum at halftime of games, and I quote, "We better not lose." It got to the point that it put a strain on their relationship where Tatum actually told his dad he wanted to quit basketball. Quick trivia. Does anyone know who Tatum's godfather is? Former NBA player.
I do.
Feel like I should, but I don't.
I have no idea.
Former Sixer.
Iverson era.
Prime AI.
Aaron McKee.
Close.
Eric Snow.
No, he was a lottery pick in the AI era.
Andre Iguodala?
Larry Hughes.
Yep,
Yes,
that one.
that is correct.
Oh, Larry Hughes. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
That's a
very
good one.
interesting, right? So on to his high school days, Tatum attended Chaminade College Prep, where he was the Gatorade National Player of the Year in 2016. He was also a McDonald's All-American that same year. He was a 5-star recruit, and he ranked 3rd overall behind Harry Giles and another fellow NBA player who plays today. Can anybody guess who the other player is or who was ranked ahead of Tatum? Hint, he was a comparison feature from one of our episodes.
Oh, I know this, and I can't. It wasn't Jamal. Was it Jamal? Was it Jamal? No, it wasn't Jamal Murray. Who was it?
So it would have to be someone from St. Louis, right?
I know this, and
I don't know if I got it
beating
right.
myself up because I can't remember it right now. Is it Donovan Mitchell?
No, I think I screwed up. I put Josh Jackson, but I don't remember. I don't remember if it was Jaren Jackson or Josh Jackson.
Well, we haven't.
Jaren's too young. I don't think it's him.
So it's probably Josh Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because he did play with somebody else in St. Louis that's like a star in the NBA right now.
I think Jaren Jackson's only 22.
No, it was saying he was ranked 3rd behind 2 other players. So Harry Giles was ranked higher than Tatum
Harry
in
Giles,
high school.
That's
Right.
who I was thinking.
And
of.
I guess Josh Jackson, who was not one of our features.
Josh Jackson
screwed that
was
up.
a bust. Yes.
Yeah. As a high school senior, Tatum averaged almost 26 points, close to 12 boards, and a little over 3 assists a game. By his senior year, he was averaging almost 30 points a game. So let's go to Maurice first. Anything stand out to you about Tatum's pre-college years?
The story of his father being a little too aggressive with his training as a basketball player. I mean, it worked out, but at the behest of him losing a good connection with his father, that's tough. That's just tough to hear. Hopefully they made amends and have a good relationship today.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I think the article I read, the dad was reflecting on that time, and he knows that he was hard on his son, but as you said, it paid off. And if you watch the draft when Tatum was drafted, like he hugged his mom first, and then his dad gave him a huge hug. So I'm sure things are good. Ben, what about you? What stands out?
That someone was ranked above him. He's always a little underrated, Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah, and Harry Giles, I couldn't even tell you who that is, to be honest with you.
He was a lottery pick of the Sacramento Kings.
Oh,
he flamed out, but he did he was on a 10-day deal like twice with the Nets this season, I want to say.
Yeah, he's on the Nets, or was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Lucas? What stands out to you?
Just that St. Louis seems to be a hub for basketball. I didn't really think of St. Louis as that way, but I think there are some other NBA players that definitely had their start there too. So, yeah, I would say St. Louis being a hub.
Yeah, I don't know too many players out of St. Louis. I think Larry Hughes is obviously out of St. Louis, right, Ben? Yeah, Maurice?
Yeah, and then obviously, Hanlon, Drew Hanlon. I mean, he's not an NBA player, but he's from St. Louis. And Bradley Beal. I know that.
Yes.
Maybe it was him and Beal that were in school? No, Beal's too old. I don't know.
Yeah. Moving on to college, Ben already said that Tatum played for Duke, and pretty much everybody knows that. And he was there for just 1 year. Now, as a Blue Devil, he averaged almost 17 points, a little over 7 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. I have an over-under. How many points Tatum scored against eventual number 1 pick Markelle Fultz in the 2016 Hoop Hall Classic? Over-under 48 points. Let's go with Ben first.
Under.
Lucas.
I'll go over.
And Maurice.
I'll go over.
All right. Lucas, you said under, right?
No, I said over.
Wait, who said under?
Ben said under.
Ben said under? Okay, Ben, you are correct.
Wow,
he scored. He still scored a good amount. He put a 40 piece on Markelle Fultz in the 2016 Hoop Classic. So I thought that was a nice little nugget there. Markelle Fultz. As a Dookie, he was named to the ACC All-Freshman team. He was third-team All-ACC selection. He was also named to the All-ACC tournament team. One more over-under. How many points did Tatum average in the 2017 NCAA tournament? Over-under 18 points. Let's go Lucas first.
That has to be over. It has to be.
Okay, Maurice?
I'm going to go over as well.
And Ben?
Over.
All right. You are all incorrect.
What?
Really?
He only played 2 games in the tournament. He averaged 16.5 points. Jayson Tatum declared for the NBA draft in 2017, where Boston selected him in the first round.
With the 3rd pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Jayson Tatum from Duke University.
This is the 4th straight year a Blue Devil has been selected in the top 3 as Jayson Tatum follows suit behind Jabari Parker and Jahlil Okafor. And in Jayson Tatum going to Boston right now. And remember, I told you at the top, a lot of teams talking in movement, but if you assume that he winds up and stays in Boston, it seems to me that they are probably getting the most polished scorer at this point right now available in the draft. Is that fair to say?
Maurice was shaking his head. I'm coming your way first. What comes to mind when you think of Jayson Tatum and his year at Duke or anything related leading up to the draft?
The prospect of Jayson Tatum was very, I would say, tantalizing. That would be the right word. If your favorite team had one of them top 3 picks, I'll say that. So, looking back at it, I think the right players went to the right teams based off of fit. Mm-hmm. But now in 2024, it's tough looking at that and saying, how did Jayson Tatum go 3? He should have won by another team.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
I think the thing with Tatum is you can put him anywhere. He's a 3-level scorer. He can guard pretty much 1 through 5. I'd say 1 through 4. You could see that. I remember seeing his highlights when we were like looking at the top picks, and I remember being like, oh, this guy's kind of like, this is NBA ready.
He's polished, yeah.
Yeah, he's polished. Yeah. He's got 6'9", he's got size, he can handle, shoot. So, yeah, that year there wasn't a clear-cut number 1, so I think he should have been the number 1.
Okay.
Looking back.
What about you, Lucas?
Ben and Maurice doesn't really know the person that I'm about to mention here by name. But back when I was just a contributor at the Sixer Sense, me and Chris, my co-editor for a long time.
Give him a last name. It's okay.
Chris Klein of now Fansided. But we were both just contributors at the time. We became, eventually the editors for the website and co-hosts for the podcast. I'm still podcasting co-host there too. But we had a big debate at the time about who should be number 1. Mm-hmm. He said Markelle Fultz. I said no. I was like, if you believe that Ben Simmons is your quote-unquote point guard, and I put air quotes around that, then you should not get another point guard. You need to get a scoring wing to go alongside of him. And like you said, he looked NBA ready.
Yeah.
He looked NBA ready. Yeah. He looked like worst case scenario for like Jayson Tatum in my head at the time was like he's a 14 to 15 point per game scorer as a 3-and-D guy. Worst case scenario. But I saw the potential there as a star, and I thought if you put the playmaking of Ben Simmons and his defense next to the shot create Joel and then Ben with Jayson Tatum, oh my gosh, it would have been too much. It would have been too much. But that would have never happened regardless, because I think Boston had the pick originally. I think they were dead set on Jayson Tatum. So I think they only did the trade with the Sixers after learning that the Sixers were dead set on Markelle Fultz.
Right.
So but my point still remains that I thought he was the best player in the draft.
You were right.
Thank you.
You were
it's
right.
Nice to have some validation.
It was interesting looking back, 8 years or 7 years ago? But like, I remember, do you guys remember like YouTubing him and being like, kind of talking yourself? Like, I felt like I would talk myself into Fultz, but I remember seeing Tatum highlights. I'm like, there's no weaknesses. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Fultz, he had some really good footage. His jumper was wet. His ball handling was much more, it was snazzier than what Tatum. Tatum was just more kind of a system type player at Duke. I think everyone except Lucas thought that Markelle should have gone number 1.
I mean, there are a few others.
No one could foresee that what would happen with him.
Nobody?
Yeah.
Nobody?
Well, You thought he was going to not be able to shoot?
even
I mean,
Lucas
nobody
thought that-
foresaw his thoracic. What is it called? Thoracic
shoulder outlet syndrome,
shoulder.
Thoracic outlet syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I think, a result of a motorcycle accident that was not properly diagnosed, and then obviously once it happened and not treated correctly the first year plus, I don't think, and not to get too off in the rabbit trail here, it just would have been impossible for Markelle to recover. But anyway, getting back to Jayson Tatum, because that's who this partially who this podcast is about.
Let's get back to Tatum. I just wanted to say that I was just with his childhood, it must have been tough for Tatum as a fourth grade kid when you're 9 and you have to live up to these expectations of your dad. And then he just kept grinding, started in high school, did his thing at Duke, and he got drafted 3rd. And I think he landed in the right spot for him and obviously for the Celtics.
Yep.
All right, we're going to the other side of the comparison, and we are going to talk about, well, let's see. Does anybody remember Paul Pierce's nickname?
The Truth.
The Truth.
Yes,
the
Truth.
sickest nickname. One of the sickest nicknames.
That's such a cool nickname. You had the Answer with Iverson in the era, and then Paul Pierce is the Truth.
Don't forget about the big ticket with KG.
That's true. He's also known as P Double. Didn't know that. But before he got those nicknames, he was born Paul Anthony Pierce, October 13th, 1977, in Oakland, California. Now, in middle school, Paul Pierce was described as a chubby kid, according to his former assistant high school coach, Scott Collins, who was interviewed for an ESPN article. He said, quote, his moves weren't defined, but he could always shoot the ball. As a kid, he was actually a fan of a West Coast team. Anybody want to guess what team he grew up liking? I'm sure Ben knows. Anybody else know?
Probably say Lakers.
Yes, it is the Lakers. Paul Pierce would actually watch the Lakers at his uncle's house on the floor, and he would root for Magic Johnson, and that was his favorite team. So he and his friends, they would actually try to imitate Showtime basketball on the playgrounds when they were in their childhood. In middle school, his mom moved them from Oakland to Inglewood. I think Ben mentioned that earlier, where unfortunately there was some gang violence going on during that time period. But it seemed like basketball was Paul Pierce's refuge, so he dove right into the hoop scene. Let's fast forward to high school. Paul Pierce played for the Inglewood High Sentinels. Over under, I haven't done one of these in a while. How tall was he as a sophomore? Over under 5 feet 11 inches. Lucas.
I think he's under.
Maurice.
Over.
And Ben.
I'm going to say under.
Okay. Lucas and Ben, you are correct. He was only 5'8" as a sophomore.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Gross.
Yeah,
Man. Yeah. I was 5'8" as a sophomore, junior, and senior in high school.
And since then, he grew a foot?
I guess so.
Well, he's 6'7", but okay.
Yeah.
So Paul Pierce, he actually, guys, would get really down on himself because he didn't think he was good enough to play varsity. He said in an ESPN article, quote, I had one brother get a scholarship to play college basketball and another brother get a baseball scholarship. So I was down on myself trying to live up to my brothers. Now, I don't have Paul Pierce's high school stats. Do you guys want to hear his high school awards?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So here's what happened, right? So he didn't make varsity, but then he was able to sit on the bench for the varsity team. The team was down by like 20 points. They put Paul Pierce in because why not? You're down 20. And he actually led that team to a comeback win. And his coach, Patrick Roy, realized that he made a mistake, and he pushed Paul Pierce back into the varsity rotation, and he eventually became a McDonald's All-American. Any thoughts on Paul Pierce before he got to college? Let's go to Ben first.
That growth spurt thing's crazy. I think the only other player I've heard that Anthony Davis, I think, was around a foot.
Yeah.
And that's why he
too.
played point guard. I think he was around 6 feet in high school. Yeah, that's wild. That's
huge.
You don't hear that often. So that stands out. And I know where he ended up He's part of the considered one of the best high school classes because like it was like Vince Carter, Marbury, Kevin Garnett, Sharif Abdul-Rahim. So he was. I remember like that '95 class like is like pretty known. I know he was part of that. So obviously he became McDonald's All-American. So
yeah,
just that leap is crazy to go from like not making varsity sophomore year to that.
Yeah. What about you, Maurice?
And what Ben was saying, that's some pretty good talent there on that All-American team, '95 team. That's some good talent right there.
Yeah, big time.
For me, growing up in the '80s, I'm a little later than that, but growing up in the '80s and sitting down on the big tube TV on the floor, watching Magic Johnson and the Lakers play, that had to be special. That would be a big influence on anybody who wants to aspire to be a basketball player and grow up. And there's a lot of players that in the league at one generation that wanted to play like Magic Johnson.
Absolutely.
And Paul Pierce, although his game wasn't Magic Johnson-esque,
right?
But I'm sure he learned a lot from those nights watching Magic, and that helped him become the player that he is. Of that day.
Yeah. And Lucas.
Look, the fact that he wasn't even sure if he had the confidence to be on varsity and now he's like an NBA legend is fantastic.
Yeah, that is cool. I just can imagine like your team is down and your number gets called, and that's a defining moment in his life. He helped his team come back, and like you're talking about building that confidence. And Maurice, you took me back to like the 80s watching the Lakers, and he actually lived out there. He used to play ball around the corner from the Great Forum. So that's just a cool story. Really cool story. Last part, let's talk about where he went to college. I'm sure most people remember that he attended the University of Kansas, where he played for Roy Williams. Now, he played there for 3 seasons, and he was a consensus All-American in 1998. Can anyone name his Kansas teammate who earned the same honors? Here's a hint. He was a big man. He had a unique name. I think Lucas mentioned his name a couple weeks ago.
I did?
Yeah, I know it, so I'll go last.
It's like his German name, I think.
It's not a Gauskis, right?
No,
I think it's French.
Oh, it's French? Okay.
I actually don't know. I just made that
up. I don't. I feel like once you're gonna say it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, but
yeah, because you said it. You were reading it from a list. Maurice, you don't know?
I don't know. I have another trivia question about that, but I don't know. I don't know the big.
Right. It's Ben, who is it?
Rafe LaFrance.
Yes, that is true. Rafe LaFrance.
He played.
He was not remember saying that name.
He was good. You're right. What was he drafted? Wasn't he top 5? He was drafted ahead of him. I know that.
Yeah, he was definitely a lottery pick. I remember that name. I think I can't confirm that, but yeah, French, German. He was European. It's clear. Huh. So here's some stats.
But you're right. Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another one of his teammates went on to be an NBA coach.
Ty Lue?
Oh, Jacques Vaughn.
Yep.
Oh, Jacques Vaughn.
Come on.
Yeah.
I gotta give myself.
You gotta take yourself.
I gotta give myself because I didn't even blink. I was like,
well, Jacques Vaughn just got fired again, so
that's bad.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I like Jacques Vaughn.
Yeah,
anyway, so that's a good trivia, Maurice. I'm just too good to let that fly.
Yeah, you guys used the 3rd pick, LaFrance. Wow.
He was 3rd?
Yeah. Wow. That's a good draft, too.
Yeah. His final year at Kansas, he averaged 20 points a game, almost 7 rebounds, 2.6 assists. Let's do a quick over-under. 3-point percentage his senior year. Lucas, I'm coming to you first. Don't look it up on your phone. I see you.
It's a message.
Okay. Over-under 35% for Paul Pierce, 3-point.
Under. I'm going to go under.
All right, Ben.
Over.
And Maurice.
Under.
All right, Maurice and Lucas, you are correct.
Yeah, he feels like one of those guys that took a while to get as a good 3-pointer. Didn't start out that way.
This is the weirdest stat I think I've ever read, and we've been doing this for like months, right? So he shot 33.9% his junior season. But his sophomore year, he almost shot 47% from three. He didn't miss a lot of games. He played the same amount of games. So it was really about volume. So in 1996-97, Paul Pierce shot 71 attempts. He made 33. His junior year, 98, he took 118 threes, but he only made 40. So talk about hot and cold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, a few accolades. Paul Pierce was first team All Big 12 in 98. He was MVP of the Big 12 tournament in 97. And he is one of 7 players in school history to score over 700 points in a season. And in 1998, he left college for the NBA draft, where he was selected by the Boston Celtics.
With the 10th pick in the 1998 NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Paul Pierce from the University of Kansas.
Paul Pierce sitting in the green room back there a little longer than a lot of folks thought he would be. But he is picked now number 10 by the Boston Celtics.
Anytime that you look at Celtic basketball, they do not play a 7 or 8 man rotation. They're rotating a minimum of 10 guys per quarter. They're looking at high energy, and they're always trying to find guys who can put the ball in the basket. Shooting makes up for a multitude of sins, and you have to remember that, and this young man can do it. He can stick the ball in the basket, and the way that the Celtics play, he can give you 2 positions, small forward and 2 guard. When you're young and playing pressing basketball, you're always looking for guys who can give you 2 positions.
Is he one more than the other at this point, Hubie?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know at Kansas he played 3.
A lot of people said the Boston Celtics wanted to move up.
Hubie Brown is like the John Madden of NBA. His voice is just everywhere.
I just saw him on the sideline last night.
Still calling games.
Right.
Still calling games.
Lucas, what do you take out of Paul Pierce's college experience?
That he definitely got snubbed in the draft process. Should have gone higher.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Ben, what about you?
People were really caught up with athleticism during the late 90s and early 2000s. We saw that big high school jump, and we're like, athleticism, potential. And I think players like Paul Pierce, who were so clearly similar to Tatum, NBA ready, NBA body, coming from a winning college basketball team. So I think he kind of fell. He was probably the worst. He should have been a top 5, top 3 pick, even if he scouted properly. Because that was a good draft, but he definitely should have been maybe top 6, because Antoine Jameson was in that draft. Who was number 1? Oh, that Olowokandi, that's right.
Michael Olowokandi, yeah.
Yeah, what Ben was saying, I was going to make the point, looking at the draft, I was going to make a point that the Friends took away a lot of Paul Pierce spotlight. But then you have Jameson and Vince Carter going back to back. So that kind of killed my argument. But he should have went, between Olowokandi, Bibby, Robert Traylor, even Larry Hughes. He should have, speaking of Larry Hughes, he should have went top 5, top 6. That was a very top-heavy draft.
Yeah. That's so interesting that Larry Hughes is brought up in the conversation about Paul Pierce. Meanwhile, he's the godfather of Jayson Tatum.
Drafted above Paul Pierce, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe we need to have a Larry Hughes episode at some point.
The Flight Brothers.
The Flight Brothers. So my quick take is I think he did play in the NCAA tournament, but they were not able to get to the Final Four. I think when it comes to his overall growing up experience on the West Coast, you think about the gang violence that he had to, I guess, kind of be around. I think basketball was like a saving grace for him. And as we'll probably get into later, he did have an experience with some violence that almost took him out. But Paul Pierce, a survivor, tough as nails, like Maurice said in the beginning. All right, that's it from me. Lucas, you ready to take point?
Yeah, let me go ahead and get a crossover in.
Second quarter. Statistics.
Job. The first fifth 3. Good hustle play by Al Horford. Tatum releases and flushes.
Man, he's letting the crowd know about it. Great job.
Tough angle. He missed it.
Well, he knows the double team's coming, so he tries to get it off quick, and he takes a tough shot.
+1 for Tatum.
Couple of years, Ian, that he finishes this play. He goes up through the contact. Very strong finish every year. He gets stronger and stronger.
He is the whole package.
Goes back and picked off his bound. Sets up numbers. Tatum. Brogdon the steal. Nicely done.
Great interior passing and transition.
All right, those were the highlights. Here are the stats. Jayson Tatum is currently listed at 6'8", 210 pounds. He's only worn the number 0 for the Boston Celtics. So finding Jayson Tatum's season honestly wasn't that hard. And it all starts with last season. Because last season, he just exploded onto the scene. He averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, a shade under 3 turnovers a game, while shooting 46.5% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and 85.5% from the free throw line. Now, if we go to Jayson Tatum's career highs, over under 59 points as a career high. Ben.
Over.
Maurice.
Over.
Uriah.
I want to be different. I'm going to say under.
Being different doesn't always work out. You should have gone with the crew. Yeah, it was 60. It was 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now, he also has a career high 19 rebounds, 12 assists, 5 steals, 6 blocks, 9 turnovers. I find that interesting. And this is a little fun tidbit before I get to Paul Pierce. The best 2 seasons from both these guys, at least for Tatum so far, and Paul Pierce for his career, were both at the age of 24. Just an interesting factoid there. But let me ask you guys, what are your reactions to these stats?
Well, I think we all can agree that Jayson Tatum is still ascending when it comes to his skill level. I think he has another step to go before we see prime Jayson Tatum. I think we all can agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and real quick, the 6 blocks. And I always say this about Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum is so reliable for their offense that his defense kind of gets a little mistaken for as being lackadaisical, I want to say. But when the games matter, or in the moments of the games matter, he can be a really good defensive player.
I think he's a good shooter. That 85% from the free throw line last season, that's anytime you're shooting above 80%, like you're doing your team a huge favor because, you got to take advantage of those free baskets. I'm a little surprised at his 3-point shot. I think you said it was 35%. For some reason, I thought he was a higher 3-point percentage shooter than that.
Well, for his career, he's at 37.5.
Okay.
Not his best shooting year in terms of 3-point percentage, but just the overall, just the scoring was just so dominant versus any other year. 3 of the past 4 seasons, he's averaged 26 points per game in the 26-point per game range. Last season was the lone exception. Even this season, as of this moment, he's averaging 26.9. So, after his second season, he averaged 23 points, and then after that, for the past 4 years, he's averaged at least 26 points.
They shoot a lot of threes in Boston. Does he shoot over 8 threes a game? Do you have that in front of you?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Okay, so this season he averages about 8.5 threes per game.
Yeah.
Last season he did 9.3. And it's interesting that you brought that up because I looked at the all-time records, for the teams, because this is one of our Hall of Fame episodes. So I pulled that up. So Paul Pierce leads Boston all times in 3-pointers made with 1,823. Tatum's already second with 1,233.
Oh, wow. He's on a crush.
I thought he'd be more than Bird. I thought Bird would be
No, Bird is 7th.
Didn't shoot a lot of threes back then.
Yeah.
Bird is 7th. Right now, Al Horford is 8th, and he's less than 100 away from passing Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And like I said, Jaylen Brown's third with 986. So yeah, no, 3-point volume definitely gone up there. The other thing, Hall of Fame wise, I mean, not Hall of Fame episode wise, that I want to bring up, points per game. So career with the Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum is averaging 23 points per game for his career. Paul Pierce with the Boston Celtics only averaged 21.8.
Okay.
So that means
he played longer. He played longer.
He did play longer. And he had to share the ball with KG and Ray Allen after a while too. But still, they're fourth and fifth respectively. Can you guys tell me the other three players ahead of them in terms of points per game as a Boston Celtic?
Bird?
Larry Bird second.
Yeah, Bird's definitely one.
Mm-hmm.
Antoine Walker?
Nope. Antoine seventh.
That's probably like an old player.
I'll tell you this: they both played it within the past 10 years on the Boston Celtics.
Wow. Okay, Isaiah Thomas.
Yes. Yep, he's first.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving's third. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jayson Tatum's interesting because he's always he had that 1 year when Jaylen Brown broke his wrist where they were a playing team, and he kind of I think he scored 60 points in a playing game.
Now, was that the 21-22 season?
It was 2 years ago. It was it was the KD, because they played the Nets. It was the KD footline year. So it was 3 years ago.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown broke his wrist around this time.
Yeah, the 2021 season. Yeah.
And then they just kind of anyway, Tatum, the thing is with him is he's always kind of been on these super teams, in my opinion. And part of that is just Boston drafting well and having, whatever. I think they just draft well. And then clearly free agency recently. So I don't like his shot selection. Now he makes them. He's got kind of a Kobe thing going on where Kobe can make a difficult shot. And so that's obviously helpful in a playoff situation. But I kind of would love to see Tatum drive more. I'd love to see him have he's got size. I'd like to see
that system. That's the
yeah. So and I know with Mazzulo it's more threes and volume threes and contested threes, and they make them. But I would love to see maybe later in his career. I'd love to see him just kind of have.
I'd like to see him post up more.
Yeah. He's got the full package. So nothing really surprises me because he's recent. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's got a lot more. He could put up Luka numbers scoring wise if he was in a different system and didn't have 6 All-Stars on his team.
Heads up and block the cut.
Attacking the rim and tomahawking it down. Wow, Paul Pierce at his best.
Garnett the screen. Pierce driving on Stoudemire. The jumper, yes! With 0.4 of a second left.
Got right there from Hudson. Sounds fortunate to be tied here. Oh, Pierce. Wow. How you doing there, Paul? Watch this power move as Pierce hanging on.
So those were the highlights. Here are the numbers. Paul Pierce was listed at 6'7" and 235 pounds. Let me ask you this. Paul Pierce played for, I believe, 3 other teams. Did he ever change his number? I'll start with Uriah.
Man, I have no clue. I have no idea. I don't even want to guess.
Maurice?
Yes.
Which team?
I want to say the Clippers.
Ben?
I would say the Clippers too.
You all
that sounds
are wrong.
about right.
He never changed his number 34.
See, like I said, he never changed it.
Lead me down that question and say what team?
I was curious.
I knew
wrong,
it. That's what I
wrong
said.
sound effect. Y'all got it wrong. Thank you.
Well, I got it right.
No. Abstaining from answering the question does not make you right.
But that's what I was thinking. I just couldn't express it. All right. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, you wore 34 with the Boston Celtics, Brooklyn Nets, Washington Wizards, and Los Angeles Clippers. let's go ahead and get into the numbers. So as I said earlier during the Tatum section, I also chose Paul Pierce's 24-year-old season as his best season. It was his fourth season in the league. He averaged 26 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, while shooting 44% from the field, 40% from three-point line, and 81% from the foul line.
Whew, man.
Now, the crazy thing is he's put up similar numbers, but he just did not get the same amount of love in terms of awards and stuff, but I'm not going to get into that. But that was also the season where he and the Boston Celtics made a pretty good run in the playoffs as well. Now, going to career highs. So, over under 51 points as a career high. Uriah.
Wow, that seems kind of low.
Let me ask Maurice first.
Wait.
You got the last one. It's his turn.
I'll say under. I mean, this was in an era where guys rarely score 50.
Okay.
So I'm going to go under.
Under. Ben, what do you think?
I'm going to say under, too.
Uriah?
I'll say under.
You are all correct. As a career high, he had 50 points. He also had, interesting that he and Tatum both have 19 rebounds as a career high. He has 14 assists as a career high, 9 steals, 5 blocks, 12 turnovers. Before I get into the historical stuff, let's talk about these general stats here.
I'm not surprised because he kind of dominated right away. It was like him and Vince Carter. I remember when they came in, people were surprised at how good both those guys were.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of them. And then I'm not surprised because him and Antoine Walker were a really good duo. He was kind of like a top 10 player by his second or third year. So I'm not surprised by that number. I guess I'm surprised in between Antoine Walker and then the Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. I am surprised he didn't put up. There was probably a season or two where Walker wasn't on the team. I'm surprised he didn't put up bigger numbers in that era.
Well, let me just tell you the averages scoring wise from his rookie till now. Actually, before I tell you that, let me ask you guys one more question. Who averaged more points as a rookie, Paul Pierce or Jayson Tatum? I'll go with Uriah. Who do you guys think averaged more?
I'm just shot in the dark here. I say Tatum.
Maurice?
Tatum.
Ben.
It's Pierce because Tatum was like a fourth option. It was the playoffs that Tatum took off.
Yeah, it was Pierce. You are correct.
Good memory, Ben.
Yeah.
Pierce averaged 16.5. Tatum averaged about 13. First 2 seasons, Paul Pierce averaged 16.5, 19.5. Then his third season, he averaged 25, 26, 26, 23, 21, 26, 25. And then his first season with KG and the Big Three, it was 19, 20, 18, 18, 19.
That makes sense.
So he dominated for a long time. Like you had that one dip year in what was it 04, 05 when he averaged only 21, but yeah, he was pretty dominant.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think for me, the one thing that stands out from the stats you read earlier was that he averaged 2 steals per game that year.
Yeah.
He's known for his offense, his shooting, and his clutchness, but I had no idea that he would average that many steals for a guy his size. And he's not the most athletic guy, but during that time period,
the opposite of athletic.
Yeah, that's like Iverson numbers, over 2 steals a game. So that stood out to me.
His career average for steals is 1.3. And I remember, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't really watch the Celtics or them until the Big Three happened. So I saw post-prime Paul Pierce, if you want to call it that. And essentially what I saw was that the guy was an elite two-way player, not the best scorer, or at least didn't have to be every single night. And he was one of the few guys that could actually like go 1v1 with Kobe. Now, granted, Kobe got his, but he made him work for it. So, I would definitely say that in terms of defense, Paul Pierce was underrated during his time, for sure. What about you, Maurice?
I would say Paul Pierce was very underrated. And he wasn't the most athletic. He wasn't Vince Carter. He wasn't dunking on everybody, although he had the ability to dunk. And he wasn't like the most high volume scorer of that era like Iverson. But his game, he really had a thinking man's game, I would say. His game reminded me a lot of what Carmelo Anthony's game became when he went to the Knicks. That swing man shooter that can pull up from anywhere and score.
Very methodical.
Yes, methodical. That's a good way to put it too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good comp, Maurice.
Yeah. So I always remember Paul Pierce to be like that guy who he can easily give you 25 on a winning team, not a losing team, a winning team.
How many seasons do you guys think he averaged? You talked about volume score. How many seasons do you guys think he averaged 20 field goal attempts or more?
20 field goals or more. I want to say 4.
Okay. Uriah?
That sounds about right. 4 or 5.
Ben?
Honestly, maybe only 2.
Ben was the closest. There was only one season that he averaged 20 field goal attempts.
Wow.
Now, he was in the the high teens for a lot of those seasons, but
it's because I think in the Walker era, which is a lot of his career, he technically wasn't the number one option in a lot that.
Well, I mean, it was during the Walker era that it happened, the 02-03 season, but I mean, you're right. You're right. He definitely did not have to average that many points that many field goal attempts. I mean, it wasn't like he was getting an insane amount of free throw attempts. There was only one season that he averaged 10 free throw attempts or more. So that's like, he's super efficient for the most part.
Yes.
Super efficient. I think there's only like 2 seasons in his career that he shot, 4 seasons in his career that he shot below 35% from the 3-point line. So, and only one season that he shot below 40% from the field, and that was like his second to last season. So the guy was super efficient. Now let me just get to the, Boston Celtics all-time leaders here. Paul Pierce, as I mentioned earlier, first in 3-point field goals and attempts. He's also first in free throw attempts. Let me see here. Turnovers, he's first there. First in steals. He's second in points, only behind John Havlicek. So, I think that's pretty cool. Jayson Tatum's going to get more of these lists as we get, but the list for Boston is so long. He is fourth in all-time defensive win shares, which I found interesting, and second in offensive win shares.
Third quarter, accolades.
Here he is, the MVP of the All-Star Game, Jayson Tatum. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Let's let Grant start this because he's got one direction he wants to go in here with this conversation.
I mean, I'll keep it professional. I won't.
He's been very biased.
I won't mention the brotherhood tonight, but no, Jayson. A performance like that. I mean, was it from the start? You're aggressively going for the MVP, or did you just kind of hit some shots and get it going, and have the night that you had?
A little bit of both, right? You want to see how you feel and see how the shots going in. And honestly, for me, it was the first day I got to debut my own signature shoe. So I had a little bit more motivation to have a good performance. And I'd be lying if I thought I was going to get 55. But, I got hot in that third quarter and kept going.
Jayson, watching you, like you said, you debuted your shoe. But it seemed like you got in a rhythm where you was back in the park at home, where you started just having fun with it. Take me through where that young guy playing in that All-Star game, dreaming of being an MVP, it seemed like it showed today out on the floor.
I think it all starts with having fun, right? Just never taking this for granted, never feeling like this is a chore. And remembering that little kid, like you said, that dreamed about being on this stage at All-Star.
All right, that was Jayson Tatum being interviewed about his MVP game in the All-Star, right? His MVP, which he won last year. And I think he set I believe he set the scoring record in that game as well. All right, let's get into these. So Jayson Tatum, he is in his 7th season. He was drafted in 2017. Gatorade Player of the Year, like Uriah said, in 2016. McDonald's All-American. ACC All-Freshman Team. 3rd Team All-ACC. Probably has a lot to do with Duke moving the basketball. All right, so Tatum right away came in the league on a contending team. A lot of people were surprised. So he surprised a lot of people more in the playoffs, but he did get NBA All-Rookie First Team. As we said already, he only averaged about 14 points, but that's because of they had to move the ball around. They had Jaylen Brown in his second year, Kyrie Irving, who ended up getting hurt, Terry Rozier, Al Horford, I think, was an all-star that year. So he was playing right away with, like, seasoned vets. They made the conference finals. They took, like, prime LeBron team to 7 games that year. So it was more the playoffs where people noticed this dude. All right, first question. How many All-NBA teams has Jayson Tatum been a part of? Not first, second, or third. All-NBA teams. I'm going to start off with Maurice.
3 or 4. I'm going to go 3.
All right. Uriah.
I actually know this. It's 3.
Okay. Lucas, you confident with?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Uriah on that one.
All right. Uriah is correct. He was All-NBA third team in 2020. And then he is a 2-time back-to-back, about to be, I think it's safe to say he's going to be a 3 straight NBA All-First Team, 2022 and 2023. So that's pretty impressive. He's about to,
first team?
First team.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Wow. Okay.
He's about to be, his third year in a row, All-NBA first team. And he's been an MVP finalist as well. I think last year he finally got into that top 3-4 conversation, and he's obviously right there. NBA All-Star MVP, as we said. He was a part of the Olympics, that 2020-2021 team that won the gold. How many All-Star games has Jayson Tatum been a part of? I'm going to go with Uriah.
I want to say at least 4, but I'm going to say 4.
Okay. Lucas?
I'm going to say, hang on. How many years has he been in the league?
He's had 6 complete seasons, so this is his 7th year.
7th season? He's been in 5 All-Star games.
Okay.
But are we counting this season?
This season counts, yeah.
I'm going to go with 4 as well.
Okay. Uriah and Maurice, you are wrong.
Hey!
Lucas is the winner.
Yes!
5 straight NBA All-Stars.
Okay. So he was an All-Star in
2020.
2020.
Yeah, okay. So his first 2 years, he didn't make an All-Star team.
Yeah. His
first 2 years, he did not make a team. I think Jaylen Brown made it the 1 year. And he's part of all these FIBA Under-19 World Championship teams, FIBA Under-17, 2014. A stat that I would say an accolade that is pretty cool, given the Celtics' history, is that Jayson Tatum is tied with a player for the most points in a single game. So think about all the Celtics in the history. Tatum actually is tied with a player for the most points in a game. So he is technically... Who do you think he's tied with, guys?
It's 60 points, right?
Yeah.
It's 60 points.
60 points in the game?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good question. Like, in the history of
the
Boston?
Celtics.
I know this because we just did the player a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Is it Kevin McHale?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's Larry
I
Bird.
didn't do Kevin McHale.
Yeah, it's Larry Bird.
It's got to be
Larry
Bird.
Bird.
Yeah.
I thought Bird had more than 60. Okay.
No, it was 60.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good memory.
No. I thought that was interesting because it's like, I thought it'd be more points for some reason.
Yeah.
And then, so he recently did that. I think he did that last year.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
This generation
and then I know he has the we were talking about him. I know he has the play-in record game. He scored like 60 in a play-in game. I remember that.
Yeah, but that doesn't count towards any official stats.
No, I know, but it's an award technically.
That sucks. They should have changed that.
Yeah, it's a stupid award. I know, but this guy's only played 6 years, so I gotta say something. And that's about it. He's made the NBA Finals. I think that's an accomplishment. I mean, hell, I would kill for that right now. So yeah, he's made the NBA Finals, and he did win an award. It's a newer award in 2022, so 2 years ago. What award did Jayson Tatum win? That's a newer award. I'm gonna start with Lucas.
Was it Clutch Player of the Year? Nah, it couldn't be Clutch. I have no idea.
It could be clutch. She's a clutch player.
Is it the Kobe Bryant Award for All-Star Game MVP?
Oh, no. I know what it is now. It's the,
he did win that.
It's the Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Oh,
Larry Bird Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, so he has won that. Yeah, and he and Jimmy Butler are the two people who've won that award. Yeah. Who is it named after? Larry Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Larry Bird. So he's won the Larry Bird Award. That's about it for Jayson Tatum. The team is favorite, so Finals MVP is definitely in his future, I think, and an MVP. Future's bright. Dude's only still 25. All right, what stands out, guys? I'm going to start off with Uriah.
So what stands out, first of all, Lucas, that's a good grab, that Larry Bird Eastern Conference Award. I didn't even realize
you knew the name, Lucas. That was impressive.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
It's funny that it's a Larry Bird Award. I'm talking about two Celtics.
I mean, look, I just remember that playoff series there. That was a pretty good one. And I remember because I told myself, I'm like, is it really Jayson Tatum or should Jimmy Butler get it even though he lost? Kind of like a Jerry West thing.
Right. Well, I think about most recently the All-Star game where Larry Bird went out to try and talk to the guys to make the All-Star game more competitive. I think Jayson Tatum was in a picture with Bird, and Bird's trying to get these guys to try a little bit harder to please the crowd, but clearly it didn't work. But yeah, I think Tatum, if he played as long as Paul Pierce did, he would clearly have as many accolades, all-star appearances, Larry Bird trophies, you call it. It's out there for him to grab and attain. And I think how he plays with such class. I think he's a classy guy. He's starting to get more marketing opportunities. Every time I go in the Wawa, I see his face on a bag of Ruffles potato chips. So kudos to him. And by the way, did you guys pick up in that interview how he was plugging his signature shoe when he was getting interviewed? I was like, he dropped that. Was a good drop right there. He thinks he's slick, but it makes sense. But yeah, that's what I took away.
To go back to what Uriah was saying real quick, he doesn't have the accolades that Paul Pierce or a lot of the other guys have so far in his career. He's only 25, like you mentioned. But the question that's been asked right now, with LeBron coming towards the end of his career, is who's the new face of the NBA? And Jayson Tatum could be one of those contending faces that we see for the next 10 years. If he wins 1 or 2, might be this year, but he could definitely be the face of the NBA coming up.
That's a good take. He technically, we'll get into Paul Pierce, I don't want to give it away, but he technically is arguably better, given off some of his accolades, but anyway, we'll get into that. All right, Lucas.
I mean, the guy's been sensational pretty much since he made his coming out party in his first playoff series. I don't know. I think, it's weird because, with the guys like Jokic and Embiid and Giannis, we've been like, okay, these guys, they've won MVPs. Now they have to go win in the playoffs. Tatum has all but won a championship, and he's pretty close twice already, right? He's been in the finals twice? No, once. Is it once or twice? Once.
Once against Golden State, yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't that far away. So I think for us to give Jayson Tatum the love that he deserves, because I think, despite having a loaded team, which we'll talk about with Maurice, the kid, he could be the face of the franchise, but the thing is, he's not. He's kind of like Paul Pierce. They're not like yes, they both can dunk, but they're not like super uber athletes like Anthony Edwards or LeBron James or anything like that. But they still get the job done, and I think that kind of takes away from the appeal of him being like the quote unquote face. But like honestly, it sounds like he wants it because I remember hearing a recent interview saying that he believes he's the best player in the NBA now.
I heard that too.
And it sounds like he wants to be the face. The question is, can he take it?
There's a lot of good competition out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just have to wait and see.
Yeah, he's come up in an era of like very, I would say, special big men in the last 5 years. Like with what Giannis, the numbers Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid have put up in the regular season, I think Tatum in non this era would easily have won an MVP. The thing I'll land on is he does kind of show up in the playoffs and in the regular season in a way that some of his, I would say, because like Jimmy takes the regular season off, right? That's the criticism. And Embiid, gets hurt in the playoffs, they say. But Tatum seems to be fairly consistent in both. So I think that's an important thing to note.
That's a really good point.
And he's pretty reliable. He doesn't durable. He's very durable.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get hurt that much.
The first Celtic championship since 1986.
4.5 rebounds a game, 6 over 6 assists. It is the truth. The MVP of the 2008 NBA Finals is Paul Pierce.
So of that big three team, he was the MVP of the finals. I actually forgot that. I just always assumed everything went to Kevin Garnett. Okay, so Paul Pierce, something I didn't know about him was he was pretty young. He's one of these guys that kind of was graduated high school at 17. So even though he did 3 years of college, he was only 20 as a rookie, entering his rookie year. I think because he's in the same draft classes as Vince Carter, I don't know how you guys feel, but it feels like he kind of got overlooked because Vince is flashier and,
Yeah.
both 3 years. Yeah, it's interesting thinking about that. But I don't know how many conference finals Paul Pierce made, but it's quite a few, similar to Tatum. And so he showed up in the playoffs, as we know. How many All-Stars do you guys think Paul Pierce made? I'm going to start off with Maurice.
I want to say 9.
All right, Uriah?
That number sounds about right to me. I'll go 9 too.
Yeah, remember that I think 2 of these years were lockout years. I don't know if Lucas.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's a tough one because I tried purposely not to pay attention when I was doing the stats, not to look at the All-Star. We got to take out his first 2 seasons with the Celtics, right? So he had a 19-year career, -2. Last 3 seasons, I'm going to say the last 4 seasons as well, because that was Nets. No, 5 seasons, because that was Nets, Wizards, Clippers.
And Wizards.
So that gives us 11. Now, do the 2 lockout years, were people still named All-Stars even though they didn't make it? I mean, they didn't.
No, I don't know about the 2011 team. Did they do that for 2011, guys? I don't think they had it.
Remember?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know Lucas in 99 they didn't even have it.
Okay, so that means I would say 9 as well. The math says 9.
All right, guys, you were all wrong.
It's
10.
It's
10.
So was one of the lockout years the All-Star?
Must have been 11. Hang on, let me check.
I think 2013 would have been so it would have been in 2013 when he would have been an All-Star. I think that's the year he
The only year he was not an All-Star was 06-07. So that means the second lockout season they did have All-Star.
They did have it. Okay.
Yeah, but
never mind.
There were actually 4 seasons that he did not make it as a Celtic. And then the other Brooklyn, Washington Clippers years, that's 4 combined. So there we go.
He actually made it 4 of the years with the big 3. That was actually surprising. Actually, no, he made it 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is surprising.
To 2012. That is surprising that he made it all. All right, so this was interesting, and I'm kind of not surprised, but I actually am, given the amount of All-Stars this guy, and we all know him. How many All-NBA teams do you think Paul Pierce made? First, second, third. I'm going to start off with Lucas.
I'm not going to answer this. Oh, I have to? Okay. He actually, I think he only made about 5 All-NBA teams, if I remember correctly. 4 or 5. It wasn't that many.
Maurice?
It's tough because Paul Pierce was labeled a guard, correct?
No, small forward. Well,
small forward.
No,
small
okay.
Forward?
Actually depends on which year. 02 through 04, he was labeled a guard, and then 06, 07, he was labeled a guard. Otherwise, he was a 3.
Yeah, it's tough because he had McGrady, and then he had, after McGrady left the conference, he had LeBron. So
all NBA is it's not conference. It's so you had LeBron, Carmelo,
Kobe, Iverson.
Well,
all right. So answer your question. I'm gonna go with 3. 3. I'm final answer is 3.
I just looked up. I got mine wrong.
Uriah?
I'll go with. Wait, what did you pick?
I said 5. I said 5, and I just found out that I was wrong.
I'm gonna go with 6.
Everyone's wrong. Maurice is kind of close as far as like the shock value. It's only 4.
Yeah,
and he never made an All NBA first team.
Yeah,
that's kind of wild.
Wow.
All NBA second team in 2009.
And that was the closest he got.
And then 3 times he was third team, 2002, 2003, 2008. I think like it does make sense when you think about that era because it was more individual. If you think about, there weren't as many super teams, so there were so many individual players like on kind of mid teams. Yeah, it almost doesn't surprise me.
And remember that sometimes they won with 2 4s instead of us.
You know what? If he was listed as a forward, I think we kind of answered our question. That was the power forward era.
Yeah, that was
that was Tim Duncan, Dirk, Chris Webber, Dirk,
KG,
Rasheed Wallace,
KG,
Tayshaun. Yeah, so that makes sense. So he was in that. He couldn't make it because of all those power forwards.
Yeah.
All right, moving down. All NBA rookie first team in '99. I think Vince Carter won Rookie of the Year that year. All NBA 75th anniversary team. And what year do you guys think he won the 3-point contest?
I didn't even know he won a 3-point contest.
I think it was the 2009 All-Star game.
Really?
Was it 2009? It was either 2009 or 2010. I don't remember which one.
Me and Lucas had this conversation like a week ago, and I completely forgot about it.
I want to say it was one of those 2 years.
Obscure winners who've won the 3-point contest. That's the stuff me and Lucas talk about. I don't know.
That's fun.
Well, that was an idea for the pod.
2010, right? I'll go 2007.
2010, guys. That was a good.
Yay!
Thought it was in a Folsom.
Oh man,
there we go.
You get it correct.
It's interesting because Paul Pierce kind of had 2 careers. He had like the because he came in the league in '98.
Yeah,
so he had that kind of like late '90s, early 2000s where he kind of dominated, and then it's interesting because then he had the big 3 era in his early 30s,
right
to mid 30s. So he almost had 2 careers. It's very interesting player, but he stayed with the same team. So I guess Kobe is the only guy that kind of had that.
Yeah,
where it's just 2 iterations. Obviously, Kobe was more successful, but I mean, Paul won a chip, Finals MVP. His number 34 was retired by the Celtics, and he won the NBA championship in 2008. He made the finals twice, and he was the NBA Finals MVP, which we said in 2008. And he was inducted in the Hall of Fame 3 years ago in 2021. Yeah, I mean, that's about it with Paul Pierce. I think he has a really good college career too, which Uriah alluded to.
Did he ever play in the Olympics?
It doesn't say, actually.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't say. And Lucas, it'll mention it if so. No, he never played in the Olympics.
That is kind of a shame. I feel like Paul Pierce would have done really well in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I wonder if they didn't want him.
He was well liked. I know. Like, I mean, I imagine he was well liked. And I kind of like his I like his zaniness right now, what he's doing in his retirement. So, all right. What do you guys think? What stands out? Maurice.
Well, first of all, anytime your number is hanged up in the rafters with this other great Celtics players, that's an achievement and accomplishment in itself. That's an accolade, a real accolade, because the Boston Celtics have a rich history. So that's an accolade. And 2, when we think of Paul Pierce, I don't know why, but we never think of, okay, this guy is a Hall of Famer. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But he truly did have a Hall of Fame career. And boy, I get into it with my segment, but he could have been more than a one-time champion. I'll say that.
All right. Uriah, what stood out to you?
What stood out to me is what nobody mentioned is The wheelchair game. That's the accolade. The wheelchair.
There's a story behind that as well.
That was such an iconic moment where he just came back in that game and he played the rest of the game. Anyway,
what was the injury, Uriah?
There's a lot of speculation. I'll just leave it at that. A lot of speculation. No, but in all seriousness, like, it's so funny. Like, we're talking about Paul Pierce. It's like, I agree, Ben. Like, my wave of thinking is just like yours. Like, it's like there's two halves of his career. There's that prolific scoring, Boston 1-2 punch with Antoine Walker, and then like a weird year where he didn't really do much, and then he wins a championship. And then to your point, Maurice, for him to have his name hanging in the rafters with Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, John Havlicek, all those greats, and then he's a top 75 player all time. Paul Pierce was a great player. I think why he doesn't really stand out that much, Maurice, is because it's all about highlights, right? NBA highlights. You look at KG, you look at Vince Carter, you look at Chris Webber, like all those highlights those guys have that maybe Paul Pierce doesn't have because he's not a super duper athlete. So that's not his fault, but his resume shows that he is a well-deserved player with all the accolades that he earned.
Well, good thing there's podcasts like us that can put a spotlight on him.
I think for me, it has to do more with the fact that Paul Pierce, he didn't get as much love in the All-NBA, but like we said, if we're competing with the power forwards and LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony's, it's not too hard to imagine, but the guy was averaging, for a long stretch there, about 25 points per game. And it feels, we see that all the time in the NBA where guys are averaging big points but aren't recognized because the teams were subpar. And I wasn't watching basketball at this time, so maybe you guys can attest to it. During, after the Antoine Walker time, between Antoine Walker and the Big Three, was Paul Pierce kind of viewed as like an empty calories type of player?
There might have been, because Antoine went to Miami and he actually won a chip too.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
but
I remember.
I don't think there was that. It might have been like only a year or two or a season and a half. So I don't know. Do you guys remember the other players he played with in that?
Al Jefferson?
That would have been it would have been Al Jefferson.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I remember when Antoine Walker left and that duo split. I was like, oh, man, Boston's going to be average now. And they kind of were, similar to what was going on with Kobe when Shaq left. Kind of middle-of-the-road team, wasn't really making the playoffs or at least advancing. So, Lucas, it was a weird time for him, a transition, and thank goodness Danny
Did he ever request a trade? I felt like I heard that he did at some point.
That's a good question. I don't remember.
If he did, it would have been with Antoine, probably earlier in their career, because I think they had beef. I remember. It would be foolish of me not to mention this, but Paul Pierce led to Jayson Tatum.
Oh, yes. Yes, they did.
Paul Pierce led to Jayson Tatum.
Yes, they did.
And Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the reason why no one does unprotected first anymore is because of that Nets trade. It's considered the worst.
That Nets trade got the stipend rule now where you can't trade consecutive picks anymore.
Yeah, so the Celtics, technically Paul Pierce, his legacy is how they got Jayson Tatum.
And Jaylen Brown.
That's good.
And Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good, Ben. My feet are set, Ben, and I'm ready for the catch and shoot.
All right, Maurice, let's hear about his teammates.
Fourth quarter, teammates.
No, I'm just playing. That's my man's, you know what I mean? It's weird to talk about it on camera. But, you know what I mean? That's my man's. Like, he needs something, he come to me whenever time. We gotta talk about something. I'll pick up the phone, you know what I mean? That's how it is. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of weird sometimes amongst people, but if y'all want to hear from me, that's my dog.
Yeah.
I wish the best for him. Potential is out the roof. You know what I mean? He's going to be probably one of the best players when it's all said and done, if you ask me. He still can't guard me. You know what I mean? He still can't do nothing with me. But when it's all said and done, Jayson Tatum is going to be, one of the greats.
All right. Was that Jaylen Brown talking about Jayson Tatum? Oh, yeah. All right. So let's talk about Jayson Tatum and his teammates. Drafted in the 2017 NBA draft, number 3 overall by the Celtics. I'm going to, because it's not that many years, I'm going to start with his rookie year. Then I'm going to start with his most successful and his most recent. So, his rookie year, he went to, obviously, the Celtics got that pick from a previous trade of lovely Paul Pierce, but they were already a very competitive team. And the year 2017-2018, when Jayson Tatum was drafted by the Celtics won 55 games. They were really good that first year of Jayson Tatum. They finished second in the East that year. So here's a couple of his teammates. Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Kyrie Irving, Marcus Morris, and Marcus Smart. That was a really good roster. It really was. So I ask this question all the time, and I'm going to ask it again. I think this one is obvious. Who won the most games from Jayson Tatum?
I mean, it's Jaylen Brown, right?
I think it's fairly obvious, Jaylen Brown. So let me go with the over-under.
Okay.
Let me go with the over-under here. 315 games they've won together. Over-under. Uriah.
I'm going to go over. They've done a lot of winning since they've been there.
Ben?
They've only had 1 year where they were like not a 2 seed. It's over.
Lucas?
It's going to go over.
All right. It was over, but you're all right. But it wasn't by much. It was only 317.
Okay.
I would think it would be more than that, to be completely honest. But 317 wins since 2017 is really good. Really good. Now, actually speaking, Jaylen Brown missed some time as well for injury, so it could have been more than that. So, all right, so let's move on to the Boston Celtics' most successful season with Jayson Tatum, and that was their NBA Finals appearance, which was the 2021-2022 season when they were eliminated by the Golden State Warriors. His teammates were Jaylen Brown again, Al Horford, Joe Johnson, who I think that was his last year.
He played like one game.
Okay, all right. Yeah. But he's still, Basketball Reference still has him on here. So, Jabari Parker, Dennis Schroeder, Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Robert Williams. Now, this team didn't have as much talent as I thought it had. And this team got to the finals, which is kind of crazy for the players that they had on this team. So I'm going to throw it back at you guys. During this season, if we all remember it because it was just recently, which was the most important player to help get to the NBA Finals for the Boston Celtics team besides Jayson Tatum? Lucas?
Robert Williams.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Ben?
That year it was Marcus Smart. I think he was Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, it was Marcus Smart.
I hate you, Ben.
you took a guy.
That's who I was going to say, yeah. I want to know why Lucas chose Robert Williams. Can you elaborate, sir?
I honestly thought Robert Williams, if he had played enough games, should have won the Defensive Player of the Year over Jayson Tatum. Robert Williams' defense was elite that season. His ability to cover off of shooters to protect the paint made such a difference for their defense and how they played. So that's why I had Robert Williams.
He was a force aside shot blocking wise. I think we kind of forget that because, he's just been traded and
he's out this year with an
injury. Yeah, he has injury. So
he might be a good. I feel like he could. Yeah, he might be a good. If someone could take him in the off season, he'd be a good addition.
Are you thinking about your favorite team there, Ben?
No, I'm just thinking in general.
Yeah, very subtle.
Yeah.
So Maurice, I have a question. Was Al Horford on that team? He was in that team because I remember him in the finals. They were showing his weird shooting motion or shooting.
Yeah, I mentioned Al Horford.
Yeah. So no one said Horford. I was gonna say Marcus Smart, but Ben took that. But I'll go Al Horford just because Al Horford. He does the little things. He sets the picks. He shuts down Giannis in the playoffs, and he seems to knock down 3-pointers when he needs to. and he's not letting up. He's still playing like a young player, I think.
Al Horford is great against other bigs for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
because he used to play in the old. He's so old that he played against old school centers, so he knows how to guard like the best new school centers that can still.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
he's like a good perimeter defender and a post defender. There's aren't many left.
Hang on, guys. Are we doing the Al Horford comparison right now?
No, we're not.
No.
Okay,
that would be interesting.
All right.
That's another episode idea. There
Al
we go.
Horford, Bill Russell. I don't know.
No.
All right.
Udonis has them.
Maybe.
Yeah, they both had enough years.
I had to bring it up.
Combined like 35 years. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they played together in college.
They did.
Wow.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I think they did. No, maybe.
No, I think so.
Well,
no, different eras. Different era. Because Udonis, that dude's like 43.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was like 30.
Horford's old, but not that old.
I mean, he's like 37, 38, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right, different. Let me get back to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's move on to the current team, because the current team is actually, as of this recording, 45-12. They're clearly the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, and they have a legitimate chance to not only get back to the NBA Finals but win it this year. And they're rolling right now. They really are rolling right now. Some of the players on the team right now: Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, again Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, again Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis. So this team right here is legitimately one of the best. You can easily say they're the best team in the NBA right now.
Yes. Yeah. At least starting five. Starting five is solid.
Honestly, like big gap, I would say, in the regular season right now. Big gap to this. I don't even know who the second best team is.
Yeah, a lot of other teams have had some injuries, and they've had some players come in and they're getting the chemistry together. So we're going to see like the Bucks and Sixers and these other teams in the East that are coming up. We're gonna see when everybody's fully loaded if the Boston Celtics can get over that hump this season. I actually have two questions for you guys in this. Who is the most impactful player in Jayson Tatum's career so far?
Does it have to be on his team?
On his team, a teammate.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lucas.
I think the answer is Jaylen Brown, because like without him, they probably would just be like an average to maybe even subpar team. Like they're the dynamic duo. You know how often we talk about breaking them up or can they win a championship, all that stuff. They're tied at the hip to each other right now.
I think their games are kind of similar. One is a little bit more defensive, athletic oriented. One is more offensive, kind of two of the same positions. Jayson Tatum has always been a two, but he's more of a 3, and Jaylen Brown's a 3. So
I think you got that mixed up. Jayson Tatum's tweener 3-4, and Brown is a 2-3.
Okay.
Yeah,
I kind of.
They're interchangeable.
Yeah.
I see what Lucas is saying, though. I see what he's saying.
Yeah, Ben, what you got?
I mean, his current teammates are just insane. Like, I don't even like that starting five. There's so many games I watch on League Pass where Tatum and Brown aren't shooting well or just aren't being aggressive, and they're still winning games. Both dudes will like have a poor shooting night, and to think about that in NBA terms, like if you watch the Lakers and AD and LeBron are off, or if you watch the Nuggets and Murray and Jokic are off, those teams aren't winning.
Yeah.
And so the depth, and I think what's really impressive is the Celtics have done an interesting thing in the Tatum Brown era where in the last decade, they've not only drafted well, and what they did is they're aggressive. So when they were the play-in team, they switched things up. They made big trades that offseason. They took Al Horford back. Now they lucked out with some stuff, but they've done a good job of drafting well and then like really going for it in the right way, and it's been paying off. I mean, look what they did this offseason. They traded Marcus Smart.
Yeah,
they traded Malcolm Brogdon. They traded Robert Williams, and they upgraded. So their front office Brad Stevens isn't afraid to take risks. So I think that's what stands out, Maurice, is just like, yeah, Tatum's lucked out. Like, there should be a general manager portion of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good point.
And how they responded with that scandal, like they just were like, that dude took him to the finals.
Yeah.
So I think that shows their character, Tatum and Brown. Like they just kind of were like, all right, cool, let's just hoop. And yeah, so
man, that's good. Man, that's a good take, man. I don't know what to say except low hanging fruit is obviously Jaylen Brown, and I could go with the chocolate milkman Al Horford again, but I'm not. I'm actually gonna.
I actually think Marcus Smart was the most impactful for Jayson Tatum, especially coming into the league. That veteran presence, the guy's always been a professional. Actually, I'll admit I was wrong. I thought they would take a step back after trading him to the Grizzlies, but they're actually better this season. So,
hey, look, Derek White is an underrated player. He does.
He's
like
an all-star role
guard.
player. He's an all-star role player.
He's a top guard with shot blocks. Like I think there's only like 2 players that block as many shots at the guard position. He's the top guy. He can shoot the 3. Like once he got that haircut, he just took off. Man, he's just playing lights out.
Him and Drew Holiday together are a really good backcourt.
Out of everybody you ever played with, who you passing the ball to? The seconds left, and you covered.
Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, one of the closers. The truth. Paul Pierce is probably one of the best closers I've ever played with. Paul Pierce had the demeanor for a closer. He was like Joe Johnson. He was never too high. He was never too low. He was always at an even keel. And when it was time to hit a big shot or something, he could always calm himself. And he was just, I'm the truth. And he believed it. And that's what the league is. You got to believe what you're putting out, or it ain't going to work.
All right, so that was Kevin Garnett. I think we all know that was Kevin Garnett.
You sure that wasn't Danny Ainge? You sure that wasn't Danny
Ainge? It was not Danny Ainge.
Good one, Uriah.
That was Kevin Garnett talking about his future teammate, Paul Pierce, who was drafted in the 1998 NBA draft to the Boston Celtics, 10th overall. First of all, he was drafted in the lockout shorting season. He came to the Boston Celtics team, and they were not good. They were 19-31 that season, lockout season, of course. So let's start with his rookie season. Paul Pierce's teammates were Kenny Anderson, Popeye Jones. This was not a good team.
Popeye Jones?
Yeah, Popeye Jones.
Wow.
Didn't he play in the 80s?
No, I think
early
90s.
He's in
90s.
Some front office right now. I've seen him where is he? Denver, maybe? No, that's Calvin Booth. I'm thinking he's somewhere though, that, like a random.
Yeah, I don't know, but Ron Mercer, Walter McCartney, and of course Antoine Walker, who was there. This is his second season when he got there, so this was not a good team. Let's move on to their championship season, and that's going a little ahead in the future. But let's go there. Before I do that, let me ask you guys a question. This one is not as easy. Who had the most wins with Paul Pierce as a teammate?
Ooh,
I'm gonna go with Ben first.
Ooh, I have no idea.
All time.
Yes, it's all time teammate.
Okay.
Trying to think. It's gonna be. Is it Rondo?
Wait a minute. Let's get everybody.
I'm gonna say Rondo.
Rondo.
That's a good. Right? I was just thinking Rondo. I'm gonna say. Oh man. I'm gonna say Antoine Walker. I'm not gonna overthink it.
Lucas.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna throw caution to the wind and say Brian Scalabrine.
Yo,
only Lucas.
What was his nickname? The Red Mamba?
The Red Mamba. I think he's still with the Celtics organization.
Hold up, is it the Red Mamba or the White Mamba? I can't...
No, because he's the redhead.
Red Mamba. Yeah.
With the answer being 341, it is Kevin Garnett.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
We overthought it.
Rondo's 2.
Okay.
Rondo's
Brian Scalabrini's 3, right?
No.
Ray Allen.
It's Ray Allen. It's Ray Allen.
Okay.
341 wins with Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Garnett was, I would say, the missing link for that championship team.
Absolutely.
Like I said in the Kevin Garnett one, his best quote: "Anything is possible." Love it. Love it.
That was pretty good. Did you practice that for yourself?
No, I did not.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
It is interesting thinking back. I didn't realize, kind of studying Paul Pierce, I didn't realize those guys, like the Celtics had that team for like 6 or 7. It's probably because Rondo was like young. They kept it. But I didn't realize they kept it for like 6-7 years, from 2007 to 2013, pretty much that core. And that surprised me because those guys were in their 30s when they got there.
Yeah, they were older, and they had a young Rondo. And I've always been a fan of Rajon Rondo. I think he's so underrated.
Yeah, same.
Future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I think we all can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's go to the 2007-2008 season. This was their championship season, coached by Doc Rivers. They were 66-16 that season. That was an elite team. His teammates were, as we mentioned, Ray Allen, Tony Allen, P.J. Brown, Sam Cassell, Glenn Davis, Kevin Garnett, Eddie House, Kendrick Perkins, James Posey, Brian Scalabrine, and Rajon Rondo.
You said Sam Cassell, right?
Sam Cassell was not on this team. Yes, he was.
Yep.
I think I mentioned Sam Cassell. My fault.
Sam Cassell also won 2 championships before that season, too. Can you tell me where?
Yeah, the Rockets.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We know.
Okay.
Come on.
We got to do him. He had an interesting career. I forgot that he was on that team.
Sam Cassell?
Yeah.
He'd be fun.
This was a stacked roster right here. This was an elite roster, and boy, 66 wins in the East. I mean, to be fair though, the East wasn't that tough back then. Remember, this was LeBron first stint with the Cavs. They didn't have that many great teams in the East that year, but 66 wins is still nothing to sneeze at. That's for sure. So let me ask you guys this: who helped them the most win that NBA championship that season against the? Who did they play?
Lakers.
I'm blanking out.
The Lakers, right?
Yeah, Lakers.
It was Lakers. Yes.
I know who Lucas is going to say was the most impactful teammate.
Actually, no. I'm going to say James Posey.
Really?
He was the one that was able to defend Kobe the best out of anybody else on that team.
Okay.
They closed with James Posey.
You got a good memories. I didn't even remember that.
That was one of my favorite finals to watch.
Okay.
Classic.
Yeah, Ben?
I mean, it's got to be Rondo, because I remember watching that and being like, "Who is this kid?"
Yeah.
And he slipped in the draft, and I think he was in the 20s drafted because they were a playoff team. He really elevated them, and then that's who stood out the most. Thinking back to watching those finals.
Hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt. I have a really kind of random but important question. Before the internet became like a big thing, like how did they get the fan vote for All-Star selection?
Are we that old, Lucas?
I mean,
no, Lucas,
guys.
We voted. I mean, we voted on our, like, you just voted online.
No, I'm talking about before the internet.
No, I remember they had the little chads, the little punchy things. Yeah.
So, Lucas, you would go to games and they would, like, punch it in.
Oh,
like,
so you would do it only the fans that could go to games. And you
drop it in the little, little ballot.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it promoted people to, like, go to games.
Okay.
I think the player, I was going to say Rondo. So, Ben, damn you. I don't, other than that, I mean, I guess Ray Allen with his 3-point shooting. And KG
Rondo
being a two-way player.
Rondo, that was definitely his breakout year, series.
Because he got everybody involved, and that made him so special. He was really, and then once he got that jumper, that little mid-range jumper down, it was a wrap. I remember that season very much, and it was a fun ride for them. I was happy for them because KG had played he played over a decade, never made it past like the Western Conference Finals, I think, with Minnesota, and obviously Ray Allen with the Bucks. He didn't get much done. Lost to the Sixers in 0-1, but yeah, that was a good series, and I was really happy for Boston.
You was happy for the Boston Celtics fans?
Not, I'm an NBA fan. I was happy for KG.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Where was I at? Oh, okay. So that was the Boston Celtics championship season. Now, after that, Paul Pierce got traded a season after that, 2 seasons after that. In the 2013 season, Paul Pierce was traded to, at that point, the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Garnett and Jason Terry. Wasn't most eventful period. This was the down end of Paul Pierce's career, but I'm just going to go through some teammates from his Nets era, the Wizards era, and his final stint with the Clippers before he retired. So with the Brooklyn Nets, he played with, of course, Kevin Garnett, Joe Johnson, Andre Kirilenko, Brook Lopez, Sean Livingston, Jason Terry, and a former player spotlighted on this podcast, Darren Williams, excuse me. I'm surprised nobody caught that.
I mean, I was going to say it, but you caught it before you said you fixed it before I could say anything.
Yeah. So that was his Brooklyn Nets roster, his teammates. And let's go to the Washington Wizards real quick. He played with John Wall, Bradley Beal, Nene, Marcin Gortat, Otto Porter Jr., which was only 1 season for the Washington Wizards. And he finished his career with the Los Angeles Clippers, once again coached by Doc Rivers, for the 2015 and 2016 seasons. That was his last 2 years. Jamal Crawford, Blake Griffin, Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, J.J. Redick, and Chris Paul. So that's how his career ended. So let me ask you this question. Who was the most impactful player in Paul Pierce's career in totality from rookie season to the end? Who was the most impactful? I'm going to start with Uriah.
I'll go with Antoine Walker, just because those were the formative years as a young player, figuring out his role, figuring out, like just getting his mojo, figuring out like I can take over a game when I need to, but if not, I have my right-hand man, 1A, 1B, Antoine Walker. And they were flashy. Like they were definitely like a nice tandem that were entertaining with their antics, the shimmy, and they eliminated a lot of teams. The team that Ben loves so much, the Sixers. But I'll go with Antoine Walker. I think that's a player that stands out to me.
Ben?
I'm gonna go Kevin Garnett. I think, especially because you see their relationship now. They podcast a lot together. They seem to have a lot of respect, and yeah, I think Garnett and Ray Allen both came to Boston. They came to Paul Pierce's team, so yeah, and then I think the fit was really good because of their games complement each other so well. So I would say I'd say Garnett, and they even went to Brooklyn together. So
Lucas,
yeah, I'm going to go with Garnett as well, because without Garnett, I mean, like, remember Garnett was not going to come to Boston at first because he didn't believe he had enough. But once Ray Allen got there, KG's like, okay, now we can win a championship if I go there. Without KG coming there with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce never becomes a champion. He never becomes known as a clutch player in the playoffs. Like, all that stuff does not happen without KG coming to Boston. So, yeah, it's KG.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with KG as well. Do you guys think they should have won more than one championship?
Yeah, well, because they would have won. They would have won 2010 if Kendrick Perkins did not tear his ACL in the finals.
Okay, like, you think that was a deciding factor?
I think it was because you had a Twin Towers in LA with Gasol and Bynum, and they I think Rasheed Wallace also got injured that run too, right? So so they were down 2 big men. Glenn Davis, I think, was already in Orlando at that point. So And Leon Poe, like, he's
Poe,
big, but he's strong, but he's not that big. He was only 6'8". Like, you had to guard two legitimate 7-footers. Two legit 7-footers. And that's pretty hard to do. And, like, Kendrick Perkins, like, almost made an all-star game because of his defense one year. So, like, Perkins, at his peak, probably should have won a defensive... If it wasn't for Dwight Howard, Kendrick Perkins at his peak would have won a Defensive Player of the Year award, in my opinion.
Now,
that's a stretch.
Now,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well, Kendrick Perkins did say that he almost was voted to an All-Star game.
Yeah, he did. He said he missed it by one coach's vote.
Yeah. Now, that 08, real quick, that 08-09 team that went to the finals and lost to the Lakers, they didn't have Rasheed Wallace. They actually didn't have...
They lost James Posey. That's what happened.
Yeah, and they really only had one legitimate big on that team. Well, they had Glenn Davis, but...
He's more of a power forward.
Yeah, and Kendrick Perkins was the only real center on that team. They didn't have the side head. They did have Stephon Marbury on that team.
Who was the backup big? Was that P.J. Brown?
Patrick O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick O'Brien. And
I thought it was Nenad Kristich.
No.
Okay.
I do not remember some of these players.
I don't remember Marbury on the Celtics.
Oh, I do. He was there for a minute, and then they cut him, I think, or benched him because they didn't like. I guess he wasn't following Doc's system or whatever.
Okay. Now that we've set up the debate with all the facts on Jayson Tatum and Paul Pierce, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion; it's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform, ready to check out your takes. Chime in on our Instagram at NBA_NowAndThen_pod, on Twitter at NBA_NowAndThen, and on our YouTube channel, NBA Now and Then.
All right, everybody, it's been fun. We'll see you next time. This has been NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. Peace.
See you.
Adios.
Later.
Oh, Maurice switched it up. You went Spanish on me.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.